Queuing. We've just seen the disintegration of so-called civilization. I want to go back a bit. I know, boring when I go back. During World War II, the British rations were terrible, absolutely terrible. I wasn't there at the time, so I didn't see it whilst the war was going on, but I saw and was involved in the aftermath. Now, only 15 minutes ago I watched people in supermarkets performing like animals. I wish I was fit and had workable legs and a cricket bat in hand, and I would have cracked quite a few skulls. Men and women, I don't care anymore. All same. During World War II there was a lot of queuing. And I'm not talking about toilet paper now. Their rations wouldn't keep a chihuahua alive these days. Food was so scarce, 2 eggs per person per week, 4 ounces of meat, or 6 ounces of sausages, if you could bear to eat them, and so on and so on and so on. And people queued for hours and hours and hours, and they had to have the stamps from the government to get it. So these were mainly women, and they did a good job. Patience was the word, and if they got turned away at the last moment, a lot of sadness, but come back tomorrow. Now these are the same women that during the night had bombs falling on them. So that's the second. First queuing, now bombs. Huddled with their children, either under the stairs or in Anson shelters or whatever. So that's 2 things they were suffering. Some of them also had to work. Munitions factories, on the land, although there was a separate land army and a forestry army, all women, and they had to work, suffer the bombs, suffer the queues, and they did it. None of this grabbing for rolls of toilet paper. It's when the world was a much more civilised place. So I've had watching it. It's just proved what I've said for a long time. People are horrible. I don't like them. Make no mistake about that. Certain ones I do. But the ones that have been close to me for many, many years and know my weird and wonderful ways. Now the coronavirus itself that's causing all this isn't really, well, I suppose it is a pandemic because it's stretched everywhere. But you look at swine flu that came over from America with the servicemen in World War II. Killed over 250,000 people. And we're looking at 1,000 now. Okay, medicine's moved on, and I just saw breaking news where I think it's the Melbourne Institute have come up with a what do you call it, injection thingy, which I believe is made from the drug they use for AIDS and the drug they used for malaria. That's sort of a quinine byproduct. They've been trialling it for 2 weeks, and if you can believe what the media says these days, the test cases have been 100% effective. So that's something, isn't it? I'm always very suspicious about China. I'll probably get shot for saying it, but to me this is the sort of thing they would do deliberately to weaken the Western world. It doesn't matter if they wipe out some of their own population at the same time. They couldn't give us stuff. And now they're blaming it on America, saying that the Americans sent people into China to start spreading it. Wrong. I can't see that happening. Don't get me wrong, most people know I'm not a great fan of America, but they're not. That's a bit out of their jurisdiction. I also want to say a big hello to Harrow. She's a friend. I would say a close friend, even though I've never met her. She's met a lot of the people that I know, and I've spoken to her a million times via email and phone and all the rest of it. She's got it, and rather badly by what I hear. She's it's hit her something like pneumonia and influenza. She's had it for over a week, I believe. She's in isolation in an empty apartment close to where she used to live. She's being cared for at home very well. But if it hasn't turned in the near future, I believe in a few days' time, they're going to whack her into hospital. So she's one that's got the worst part of it. Going back to the rationing during the Second World War, I must admit that according to my mother, the most dangerous job in the village was a butcher, because women would almost kill for their meat. They might have the ration tickets to get some, 4 ounces of meat per person per week, but there mightn't be any meat there. It just depends on what convoys got through, and in what amount. My mother was in the military the same as my father, although she was local, so she could come home and look after us. It wasn't all left to the housekeeper, Mrs. Thompson. So she had it threefold. She had queuing, bombs, working in the services. No complaints. It's disgusting what I'm seeing on television. Now I'm going to get into trouble for being racist here, but apart from one very obnoxious fellow who seems to think it's fine to go into supermarkets wearing a blue loose vest, shorts and nothing on their feet, the rest have all been either African looking, Asian looking, or Middle Eastern looking. So I should imagine when this is over and all of it is now on camera, there's going to be a few people getting deportation orders. I'll help load up the truck. I'll help load up the plane, and then make sure that although the cabin crew have parachutes, there's not enough fuel on board to get where they're going. Alright, that's it. What do I supposed to talk for? Can't see. About 11 minutes, that's more than I meant to. Stay safe, Harrow. I'm thinking of you. And I know that some of the others are too. Yeah. Until later, stay free of the virus. And remember, it's not a death sentence. Most people will recover from it. Don't see how I can get it, but you never know. Somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody might have touched an envelope that I touched. Lap of the gods. Have fun for now. Bye.